I'm Brooker Belcourt, founder of Covey. And today I'm panicked about a surprise guest joining us in the form of my 7-month-old daughter from the room next door.
Hey, Howie!
Jensen. Do they say Jensen or Jensen?
Well, here they say Jensen. In Norway, they say Jensen.
So Knut Jensen.
Yes.
Be interesting if they flipped it and said Knut Jensen.
Yeah, some people do that.
What country do they reverse it?
Jensen cannot?
No, just silent K, loud J.
Well, here
it's really K, hard, Knut.
Yeah,
Jensen, light J.
It's a linguistic handicap. That's all I can say.
What was your size at birth? Because you're giant, and I'm just trying to think what you were like when you came out of the hole.
Completely average.
You were average?
Oh, completely average.
What's your mom's name again?
Gunvor.
So Gunvor, what do you think? You think you came out and she was like, this is going to be a Hans. And then she just saw this long, slender body and goes, "Okay, Nat."
She put me in a stretch bench.
And is your brother as tall as you?
I have 2 brothers, and they are almost as tall as I am, yeah. I'm 2 meters. My 2 brothers are a little bit shorter.
2 meters is
6'6.5".
Yeah, but it's 2.5. What's a meter? 3.2?
You're talking about Canadian inches.
Speaking of Canadian inches, meet our CEO, Chief of Staff, Head of Department of Finance, in charge of my security, Ethan Burke.
You name it, I do it.
That's right. No one said you had to be in here, but he's in here. He's a big fan of this. He's been providing feedback on this product. We have a stealth company. Social leverage doesn't know stealth because I have a big mouth. So imagine my dismay when I was told I couldn't talk about this company until now. But that's how the world works. We have stealth things happening sometimes at social leverage. And today we're having a first-time reveal of the product and company. It's really, very exciting.
Awesome.
Very exciting. Knut?
Yes.
Not for you.
No?
But
okay.
Act excited.
I am. That's what I am.
Let me just say, do Norwegians get excited about anything? What would
About alcohol.
Yeah. There's no team sports in Norway, right? Everybody's just skiing in different directions on their skis and walking on fjords.
Yeah. Well, apart from soccer, which they do play in the summertime.
But Oslo, is Oslo division where they play in the African division?
Yeah. No, they're
not allowed in Europe.
No.
But just as a reminder, all the goofing that we do on Knut, he has all the oil. So in the end, we pay homage to our great Nordic gods in Oslo, and we hope you take pity on us, other people without oil.
Yes, I do, on a daily basis. So
anyways, we have a great guest. We're going to talk today about one of our portfolio companies. We're going to meet one of our founders. His name is Brooker Belcourt. This is a small world. We both went to the same undergrad school, University of Western Ontario, go Mustangs. By the way, worst logo, no one wants a Mustang. Is there a purple Mustang of all things, right? Anyways, great school, business school. He was an associate at Goldman Sachs. Won't hold that against him. He was an analyst at Co2 Management, which is a pretty famous firm. Mm-hmm. He also was an analyst at Citadel, where he came up with schemes to separate you and me from our money. But now he's on our side. And so it's good to have people on the other side, other than know what the dark side is. So he knows a lot. And then social leverage. We spent a year chatting, going back and forth, bantering about the world of investing and education and mentoring and recruiting and outperforming the indexes. And he's come up with a really, really cool product. And the name of the company is Covey. The name of the website, Covey.io. I'm not going to butcher the explanation of the company because it's newly revealed. But he founded the company, obviously with extensive experience in the industry and a deep understanding of the needs that young investors and professional investors want. I just got the app, and I have money at work already on the app. So let's welcome Brooker Belcourt.
Will do. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by Distance, the ultimate shopping destination for cyclists and endurance athletes. Discover top-tier cycling brands from around the world all in one place. Get free shipping and returns when you sign up to join their community of athletes, ambassadors, and enthusiasts alike. If you're a cyclist like me, check out Distance, that's dstnc.com, and save 15% on your purchase by using code PANIC15. That's dstnc.com, and the code is PANIC15.
Hi, Howard. How Newt?
Where's the name Brooker Belcourt? What is that? It's got a really bouncy ring. Were your parents rappers?
Yeah, it's a great name. My parents heard the name when I was, I guess, before I was born, and hung on to it and just used it.
Have you ever met another Brooker?
I have, and you know what? It was at Western, our former university.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So when did you, I'm 58. Well, how old are you?
I'm in my 30s, late 30s.
All right. So that was a quick slam. 20 years younger than me. So hang on. So you're in your late 30s. So you graduated in like 2000.
2008.
Wow.
Yeah, right at the peak. Jumped into Goldman Sachs in September 2008.
So would you work there a month?
I was working in the investment banking division of the financial institutions group. So
oh my God. So you moved to New York? They were recruiting out of Western.
Yeah, and they had me looking at banks' balance sheets. Similar to what's going on right now, actually, looking at banks' balance sheets and stress testing them and trying to figure out how bad it was. And the goal was to figure out who could have the biggest hole so then you could request more money from the government in the TARP program.
When you're trying to find the biggest hole in the balance sheet, is there a lot of emojis going around in 2008? Was there even emojis in 2008?
No, we didn't. We were just getting the iPhone in 2008. So I was on a BlackBerry back then. I think I had 2 of them.
Yeah, BlackBerries were awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so you come in, shortest career at Goldman Sachs in history, or no?
No, I made it through there. I lasted for 4 years. I got out of the bank coverage and jumped into FinTech. Back in the day when it was only MasterCard and global payments, really early in FinTech.
When no one liked FinTech, when I was doing it, it wasn't even called FinTech. It was just called anything but CNBC and E-Trade and Bloomberg. That's what it was called.
Yeah, it was these companies taking services away from banks that banks didn't really care about. And everyone was like, oh, this is nothing. Visa wasn't even public. And then you started to get Vantiv and global payments took off.
You worked at Goldman 4 years and you get into FinTech, pre-FinTech. What was next?
So after Goldman, I went into the hedge fund world and I had 3 pretty cool experiences. I went to Co2, Tiger Management, and Citadel, and so saw 3 like very different styles that were really fascinating. That helped me build Covey. And so at Co2, there was this amazing PM. It was all about Philippe Lafont. He was crazy smart, charismatic, and he had like the best bullshit detector I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Crazy combination to see all that. And then at Tiger Management, working on a fund there, seated by Julian Robertson. He was just amazing at spotting talent and chatting ideas and trading ideas. It was really cool to see that there's this possibility of seeing amazing people and betting on them. And he did it successfully with Lone Pine, with Tiger Global. So he was just incredible. And then at Citadel, I didn't really interact with the senior management there, but they have you using this incredible software. It was the best proprietary software I'd ever seen in my life. And it was the type of thing that, for all you knew, you were just in a simulation and you weren't really trading money. You were putting your ideas and all your notes into the software and placing your conviction level, and then the trades were happening behind the scenes. But you really had no clue what was going on. It was just this incredible software that you were using on the front end.
Wow. So you had those experiences and then you chose entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and then after Citadel, I wanted to combine all of those experiences and create a platform to find the best and allow anyone to invest in them.
Fantastic. So let's talk about Covey. This is like a super duper passion of yours. You've been toiling away on this iteration. Where are we at today with Covey? Let's give people a breakdown.
For sure. So Covey was created out of this idea that we want the best people managing our money. So we built the first of its kind global community to find and reward the best investment analysts so that anyone can download an app and co-trade with proven exceptional performers.
So we've iterated and thought this through. It seems like we're at this perfect moment in time. Everybody can pick up a phone and open an account. There's mentoring on Twitter, stock twits. There's a million places to trade and track yourself. There's crypto. There's alpha at every corner of the earth, whether we like it or not. The point is, it's a glorious time to be an alpha hunter. It's a glorious time to be young. It's a glorious time to be impassioned by investing. And how does Covey wrap all this together? Like, what is the experience like?
We're at this point where we're realizing that all the investment talent doesn't sit on Wall Street.
Correct.
And that perhaps the recruiting processes of Wall Street and hedge funds are just going after the same Ivy League schools. And they're missing out on all of these amazing people that you and I see on FinTwit, that we see on like Reddit even, that we see on StockTwist. There's some passionate people that are really good and have developed processes that are repeatable and that can generate alpha. And so there's this talent out there. And how do we get those people managing our money? Like we don't really have a way to onboard them. We don't have an infrastructure to go out and find them. And I like to use the sports analogy, right? If you think about if you're an amazing basketball player, you're going to be known about in high school. You're going to show up on some leaderboard. You're going to have tons of data on you. And we don't have the equivalent for investing when it could be like so profitable to all of us if we knew who the next great investment analyst.
In Israel, they know who's going to be a soldier and who's going to be in the command, right? Based on their grades. Like, no joke. Like, they are picking out kids when they're 13 who are, yes, they'll be in the military, but they're going to be in the electronics unit, and the unit that doesn't necessarily see combat, but that is in control of making sure everybody lives.
Yeah.
Solving real problems. And yet, in America, where there's no format for people to rise to be recognized, forgetting that we don't educate kids. Now that even without education, they're playing these games, meme coins, whatever they're doing, and there's no way to even like recognize who's super talented at this.
Yeah, so investing needs that Moneyball moment where we need to start capturing all the data on these people out there who are exceptional analysts. And we need to put them on a leaderboard, and we need to find out who's best, or at least know who's best. And then we can start designing ways to allocate them money. And we've got one way to allocate them money, and we can talk about that. But it's just, I think the key is, the first thing that Covey did was create a global open community that anyone can join, share their investing ideas, and rise to the top of the leaderboard. And so now we've identified out of hundreds of people who are the best analysts that are in an open meritocracy.
And right now you've chosen how many people?
We think that if you allocate your money to the top 1%, then you're going to do great.
And do the top 1% know they're in the 1% per you? Like, do they know they're being watched and they're being tracked?
Oh yeah, they know they're in the top 1%. We find that when you are in the top 1% over the last 12 months, you're generally pretty sticky. Like, you'll stay in the top 1%. In the next month, most likely. Like, when you're good, you know you're good, and you stay there. And so they know, they see themselves at the top of the leaderboard. They're super competitive.
Now, I watched Kentucky Derby, and my friends actually won the Kentucky Derby because, like Covey, there's now an app called Join Commonwealth. I'm not an investor, although I definitely looked at the deal, where the community can own a piece of a horse. And the founder, Brian, like, got everybody, he was explaining the horse race business. And now this whole group of my friends were just won the Kentucky Derby through the app. Now, horses, and I don't know if this would apply to like what we have to learn about traders, is they get treated very special, right? Meaning, is the job of Covey eventually to make sure they don't do anything but what makes them thoroughbreds? Therefore, no back office. Don't worry about assets under management. Like, how do you think through horses versus traders and all these things? So what have you learning so far about the 1%?
So today, the stuff that we've talked about so far is this open community. We call it the Covey Training Club.
Yep.
And there's people competing. We've been running that for a couple of years now, and we've found the best. That's one side. That's the supply side. And then on the other side, we have the Covey Legends app. And so that's taking the top 1% from the community and taking their combined top 20 ideas and allowing anyone to download the app, deposit money, and co-trade, so invest with the legends. And so we handle all the rebalancing, make sure you're keeping up to date with the trades of the legends. And so that's our first product that's available right now. We have one product on this app, super straightforward. But I think what you're hinting at is like, what could this look like in long term is hopefully we can start finding more and more amazing, talented people and then building the infrastructure for them so that they don't have to do all the work of creating a fund, filing all the documents, managing all the accounting, which just to create is like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's a huge barrier to entry and blocks a lot of people from doing it who are incredibly talented, but don't have that sort of capital. And so they're being left out right now. By having an open community that anyone can join, we can get them in, we can find the best, and then we can allocate money to them.
Yeah, I'm at the age where I don't now believe in apps. Like if someone pitches me an app, I'm like, don't, right? And you've made the app such that it's not an app. It's just a service. And you open it up and see how the 1%, how your 1%, it's a product that's rare, that's unique, that's not the S&P, it's not a hedge fund. It's just a product that has a system. And your job, what do you think your ultimate job of the app is to deliver? What type of return? What should people understand about the 1% and what you're trying to return?
What we're trying to do is to beat the S&P.
Got it.
So we're putting together the portfolio with the goal of finding the best talent and believing that they will continue to beat the S&P, and which they have shown in the past. And so our bet is that they will continue to do that. And that's what we hope to deliver to our clients.
And so when people open the app, and I have the app and I have money in the app, that's the sole purpose of the app, is knowing how the sausage is made, assuming you trust us in how the sausage is made. You are buying a product that is the culmination of lots of hard work behind the scenes to isolate, find, cajole, nurture this 1% in an environment that lets them continue to beat the S&P 500.
Yes, that's exactly it. You put it perfectly.
So now behind the scenes at Covey.io, what's happening?
So we've got a lot. So there's the training club, which is, as I was saying, this huge competition. And then on the other side, there's the Covey Legends app, where we're busy constantly rebalancing the portfolios, making sure you're automatically trading with all the legends. When you deposit your $100, $1,000, you just set it and forget it. And you just step away and you can personalize it if you want. If you don't want all the positions of the legends, you can do a lot of modifications, and we take into account what risk you want. But our goal is to make this as easy as possible for you to access proven performers.
And do you think long-term it would be a success if other people wanted to have, is there a size thing, or is it always going to be on Covey? Do you think there's a time where if the product's good enough assets come into it and everything scales as you know it can, that Covey can be offered in any app, whether it's Robinhood or through brokerages, or no, this is just always going to be a Covey world?
Well, for the foreseeable future, it'll always be through this Covey Legends app, and we'll see what the world takes us, but that's the way to access it.
Now, what about this moment in tech? Like you're using, I think, Alpaca.
So you want to chat, our tech stack. So
yeah, let's chat about tech stack, because the moment in time is perfect for a product like this. There's products out there like Stash and Wealthfront and even Titan, where, people have used the onboarding. I've always felt like they're off. They can be great businesses. Like I can't comment on their businesses or the products themselves, but I've always shied away from venture investing as it would cater towards just trying to duplicate what the S&P actually does. But there is tech to allow everybody now to build a brokerage like RAA type app. So what does a stack look like in 2023?
Yeah, this would be a very hard thing to build 5 years ago even.
Right.
But now we're using a lot of really cool technology to make this happen, both on the training club side as well as on the Legends app size. So we are a registered investment advisor with the SEC. So we are a regulated entity, and we provide investment advice by putting you into these portfolios, which we call the Covey Legends portfolio. And then where your money actually sits, where it is technically custodied, is through our broker dealer. And so we partner with this company, Alpaca, and they host your stocks as well as your crypto, if you have any in here, as well as they host the cash. And they are a regulated entity. They are protected, I think, up to $500,000, so you don't have to worry about that. They're very large, so it allows you to trust a lot easier than you would us being just a very new entity.
And, we're investors in Alpaca, and they're a modern version of what Apex is, Apex Clearing. It's clearing meets custody meets being a broker-dealer. So they're basically, you're farming that out to them. But because of economies of scale, all this works in your favor.
Yeah, it's a great product. I think the old ones, if you had tried to do this with Apex, they just don't have a great API. And so it's just much harder to use. It's super expensive as well. So Alpaca comes in and offers a really great solution, a new API.
So how do you convince the traders that you have enough tools to make their job easier? So now the real hard tech stack side, which is building the community, the real hard part, which is in a world where everybody can build the same front-end facing products for the most part, it's what's behind the scenes that matters. Understanding how trading works, understanding how traders think, understanding the tools they need, understanding how to measure all this so that people can trust that you really understand what the 1% means. So how do you do all that? Or what can you share about that? Because it's cool. It's all like off-the-shelf tech for the most part.
Yeah, it's really important that we have a robust community. That's our advantage. We have this community of hundreds that's totally open, called the Covey Training Club. And we've got 2 years of track record, so a lot of data to support the Covey Legends app. And we have to have incentives for people to want to join that and post their investing ideas. And so a lot of people are on there to compete, to become the best. They're on there to credentialize themselves because we give them a free track record. And they're on there to enhance their career. And then the final thing is they're also on there to earn rewards. So every month we distribute rewards, and that keeps them almost into this competition a little bit more like it's a game for them on a monthly basis, which makes it makes it more fun than just posting ideas to a Robinhood account and sharing screenshots.
Yes. And that's the truth. For people that do want to get better, posting screenshots isn't going to get it done. You have to treat this like a profession. And the earlier you do this and the more that a Covey exists, the more that people can get discovered and actually learn the craft, because it is a craft.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a lot of people on here. I mentioned the enhanced career. There's a lot of people on here looking to get a job at a hedge fund or looking to launch their own fund. And we have some really cool tech that allows our track records to be trusted by anyone. And so we can talk about that. But I think we've done some awesome things that make it really compelling for people to join our community.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about like stuff that people can do. Because I've always, I started StockTwit, so I believed that you should journal. I came from the hedge fund world. I realized I wasn't cut out to be a hedge fund manager early, but people trusted me, and I did my best to try and, match the S&P with as low a risk as possible. And it drove me to the point of misery. So I was smart enough to get out of it. What is that type of person that wants to do this?
Yeah, we have a lot of people on here. The one thing they have in common is they're these proven exceptional analysts. They're not necessarily all from finance. We have students, we have PhDs, we have coders to quants. They care a lot about investing, and they're there to prove themselves. And we solve a couple of problems for them. So if you are really good at investing and you post all you want, send Howard emails showing your track record from your Fidelity account to your Robinhood account, it'll be unlikely that anyone believes you, unfortunately. So what we do is we allow people to post ideas through our website, and they get posted on an immutable ledger on a blockchain called Polygon. And so that gives them an immutable timestamp and allows them to have almost an audited track record, which would cost thousands of dollars. And we give that service for free. People
wondering what a blockchain is a perfect, simple use case of a blockchain. No?
Yeah, I think we leverage it to solve the problem of we can't give everyone $1,000 audits on their track record.
Right.
So for pennies, we're creating almost an auditable track record that would be really hard to fake.
Now, how do you tie the price to all this? Is that easy?
Well, because there's so many services that can tell you the price of Apple at any given timestamp. So that we can just use anyone.
So you've gelled all that together, and so people have a way to build a track record.
Yeah, so all the investment analysts that are competing in this community have logged all their trades to a blockchain. So we know that they were long growth stocks in 2020 and short growth stocks in 2022, and then long oil. And we know that their track record really happened. You can't fake it with us.
And what do you find the most interesting part about the community? Are people helping each other? Is it very secretive? I mean, obviously, they're all posting their trades, and it's got to be interesting to see how other people react to other trades. I mean, is there a limit to where the community could be, or the more the merrier?
I think the more the merrier. The biggest surprise to me was just the stickiness at the top of the leaderboard. I thought that people would churn out who were there at the top, but it's like, if you're good, you do stay at the top. If you go to our website and see Covey.io, you'll see the people at the top of the leaderboard are pretty much always the same. And so these amazing analysts stay there. And I saw this a little bit when I was in the hedge fund world working at Co2 and Citadel. The great analysts stay great. And I think
they have a process. It's like me blogging. I'm not great at it, but I do it every day. I'm whatever. Like I set aside a certain amount of time. And when I got into investing, I realized that there's no amount of time that I could dedicate, assuming I was a perfect hedge fund manager and had back office handled, that would make me better, right?
Yeah, I find the same. I don't really scratch the top 10%. And so these people, it's incredible what they do. And they make money in so many different types of markets, which is fascinating, as we've seen so many different types of markets perform well over the last 2 to 3 years. They consistently make money in each of them, and they're able to transform into each market. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, what excites me about Covey is exactly what didn't get me excited about staying a hedge fund manager, meaning I knew when I was doing a SPAC, I have great intentions. I knew that we were going to work hard and do the best that we can. But I also knew this was the end of a cycle. Like, two things can be true. I can have good intentions, I can be smart, I can have great people around me, and I can be the dumbest guy in the room for timing. But I can't trade against myself, meaning I know the party is going to come to an end, right? This is why it's so important about Covey and what you're doing. But I can't express it because I can't live the Howiestown life knowing that I'm betting against the world for the next year, 18 months, right? I don't know how to express it. I wasn't trained properly. I don't know the best vehicles to do that with. I don't know how to properly manage my portfolio for that type of stress. You know what I mean? So I live the Howie life. Covey will allow me to live a life where I can go just be my best self and try and not do stupid things, but know that a batch of the smartest traders in the world are constantly working to beat the S&P for me.
Yeah, your point's
it's pretty simple.
Going to be felt by a lot of people too. Yeah. Like DIY investing, the retail investing, is this amazing phenomenon, but it's really hard. And if you look at the data, I think you'll see, like looking at Robinhood, they report their market gains for their clients every quarter.
Oh, okay.
And so if you go back to the COVID bottoms, which was, I think, around Q1 2020, pretty much right at the end of Q1 2020, and you look at the performance of the S&P over that period, it's up 50%, 50. Right. How much do you think investors made in that period?
From the bottom to when? From the bottom
to today, to their last quarterly report.
They probably lost money.
Yeah, they lost $26 billion.
Yeah.
In a market that's up 50%.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong. And retail investing is great, but should we be allocating 100% of our portfolio to it? Like maybe we should find out who's the best and allocate a little bit of it to them and let them manage it for us.
Adults need to be adults. And in a world that guns are available at Walmart and we're arguing about should Robinhood exist, our arguments need to get better aligned, meaning investing is one of the greatest privileges that we can be given. So to take it away is stupid. What we should be doing is working on products like Covey, which aren't perfect, but like aim towards solving this problem, meaning I want to be aligned with the smartest people in the world. This is the hardest thing to do. I know what I'm doing is wrong, meaning I know that like Chamath doing a SPAC and shitcoins tripling can't go on forever. So we must be closer to the top than the bottom. But I wouldn't know how to express that in a million years. Hence, and I know that there's a lot of smart people that are doing this full time that will try and make me money during this downturn. And so your idea is to take the top 1% and constantly curate them, and with the implicit goal of just beating the S&P 500.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And I think you're seeing people change their behavior a little bit. Like people are switching from this passive trend that's been going on for years towards passive ETFs, which are the majority of ETFs, right? There's like 7 trillion in ETFs out there. And most of them, I think 94% of them are passive. And you're seeing now over the last couple of years, fund flows towards the active. And so now I think in 2022, the actives took up 14% of the flows. And then in 2023, so far, they've taken 30% of the new flows.
Whoa.
And so
even despite the bad returns. Interesting.
Yeah, even despite like the headlines of Cathie Wood and all that, which is an actively managed ETF. I think people are seeking and saying, hey, I'm tired of losing money on my personal account. There's got to be someone who can do this better. And we all want to beat the markets. And so they're allocating their money towards these more actively managed ETFs.
Yeah, no, that was the bet I made in 2008 when I started StockTwits. It wasn't that I thought I could beat the market. It was that I thought people would try. What I got wrong, but luckily survived long enough, was that being right and getting the timing right are two different things. And so here we are in 2023 when I thought everybody would have given up already on active investing. We're just getting started. And it goes against everything that people want to believe because they think that like like there was this episode this weekend where Berkshire Hathaway, because of their annual meeting, was trending. So was Pepe, some fucking coin, right next to Berkshire Hathaway. Like two things can be true. Berkshire Hathaway is incredible and people should listen to the guys. And Pepe means something. It may mean everything that you don't want it to mean about investing, but it's subconsciously people are doing this stuff and it exists and it's going on right next to Berkshire's annual meeting in your face. Pepe coin's $1 billion. And they're playing a game. And it's a much different game that you want to play. And there's kids that are going to be so good at this game. And if you can tie those returns into your alpha, then fucking A.
Yeah, investing is so hard. It's just, how are you going to make all these calls?
How are you going to, I can see these major shifts in sentiment. In 2017 on StockTwits, I saw it when Bitcoin was mentioned more time on StockTwits than S&P. So it meant two things. It meant, this is probably too much hype, but it was also crossed a chasm in public, sentiment consciousness. And sure, we got a crash, but look where Bitcoin is today. Then, in this last crash of the last year, or the regional bank crisis here, of all things, I started seeing stablecoin USDC trending on StockTwits. Like I'd never seen that happen before. And I'm like, yeah, this is just some subconscious of people need another product because they're panicked. And like a stablecoin backed by the right thing would make perfect sense here. And so do you believe in stablecoins? I don't care. But the point is, it's a solution that's problem now surfaced and now it's getting pushed back down under the surface. But I think now the next 10 years will be dominated, I hope, or at least I think by stablecoin and the idea of like constantly having access to your capital in a distributed way. So where does crypto fit in all this? Because you've thought this through. We talk on hem and haw about this, but crypto is undeniably here to stay. So how do you think about this in a world of alpha and Covey?
Yeah, it would be wrong to go a podcast on investing and not chat crypto.
Yes, because you're an early adopter and you're a believer, but you have to temper your enthusiasm with where the world is and what people are willing to stand, and then how to compensate people, because blockchain in the simplest form, using Polygon as the immutable source to track your track record, is perfect. But the next layer is where people start losing their minds. So walk people through it as cleanly as possible without them losing their minds.
Yeah, so we solved the first problem of an auditable track record with crypto. And then we had this other problem where we want to reward the top analysts in our community. But these analysts are from all over the world. They're in Japan, they're in New Zealand, they're in Denmark and in Canada even. And so how would we actually reward them financially for being the best every single month using the traditional banking rails? And it was pretty much impossible. We couldn't pay them out. And so we thought, well, why don't we just get their crypto address and reward them in a token? And this token would represent governance in our platform. It would serve to credentialize them. It allows them to stake to earn more rewards. And it also allows you to get discounts on the Covey Legends app. And so it solved this problem of being able to reward people every single month. And it gave people these tokens that serve to credentialize themselves. So it's this amazing solution. And we're able to pay people out in a matter of minutes at month end programmatically. And it costs us pennies. It's incredible.
And you could copy the code that everybody used before you.
Yes, and we didn't have to really do anything to create this code. We just used the standard ERC20 smart contract, and it's what everyone's used. And so it was very little effort on our part, and it allowed us to create a community that can benefit greatly from this amazing technology.
So you have to hide that complexity, but at the same time, that's the flywheel, the oil, the payment mechanism, the juice, the incentive to keep this going. So how do you manage that in a world where FTX was a fraud? People worry about, shit coins and tokens. How do you appease the natives?
The way we do that is on the Covey Trading Club is basically where we use blockchain technology. So those are the people who are vying to be the best analysts. And they're willing to spend some time and learn about this, and that's great. And all the complexity of our crypto sits there. On the Covey Legends app, which is the product we have available for the most people.
The product that I'm investing in. The product that I have my money in, meaning I don't see any of that complexity.
You don't see any complexity. You don't need to know anything about crypto. The only time that crypto shows up there is if the Legends put on a trade. Let's say they buy Bitcoin. You would also follow them into Bitcoin. But if you don't want any crypto, you can actually toggle that off and block that position from entering your portfolio.
So that's a cool part too. If you're very anti-crypto, you can say, I want to be with Covey, but I don't want anything to do with crypto. You can block that off per se.
Yeah, and most of our Legends ideas are actually not crypto. But they often do get into crypto, and it's pretty nice to have their advantage in crypto because that is an incredibly hard market to navigate. But you don't need to know anything about crypto to use the Covey Legends app. We use fiat currency there, deposits, traditional banking.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. It's alpaca, it's insured, it's a broker dealer. You're insured up to the 500K, and it's just done by thousands of apps at this point. And so it's excited to see it in the wild?
It's amazing seeing it in the wild. It's really cool checking it every day. It's a little bit addictive to watch your money move around and see all these trades they're making and not have to worry about thinking about, oh, there's war. Is it ending? Is it not? What's this inflation report coming out tomorrow? How should I change my portfolio? That stuff can consume so much time and energy. And it's just nice to sit back and watch someone do all this work for you and have their trades expressed in your portfolio without doing anything.
Is there a way for me to say, listen, I want to look in and just maybe add a few trades of my own and see which are the most, and then copy a few trades of those on my other account somewhere?
Yes, of course. You can download the app right now and you can see how much the Legends are beating the S&P, what's in their portfolio right now. You can check it constantly and create your own portfolio on your own brokerage account. And that's, yes, you can definitely do that. I think that's a lot of work. And for a small fee, we're happy to make all those trades for you.
Yeah. You've stayed lean. You've stayed small. You've been in build mode. We've kept this cap table clean. We've been doing this on a shoestring. How many people are you?
We're a super lean company. We're myself and then 3 developers. Working very hard right now.
And Discord's worked for you as a community builder?
Discord's worked pretty well to build the community. And yeah, we've done most of it over Discord. A lot of our community members are pretty private, and they're out there just doing their trades on their own. It's not something that's a StockTwits type community where we're posting memes and talking about ideas constantly. We're just putting in the trades and competing every single month.
And have you had anybody graduate? I mean, the original idea originally started around recruiting when I first met you, right? We were figuring out a different way for Wall Street to find people.
Yeah, we created this community right off the bat. We had a lot of interest from students and then recruiters looking to access those students to hire them at hedge funds. And I think that there's just so much more this community can do. So we wanted to get the ideas out of the community and give it back to the world and allow anyone to co-trade with the best.
All right, so we got our 20,000 listeners, however they are downstream, and so they're listening to the podcast. They know somebody who likes to trade. What's the best way to get involved?
Yeah, I think if you want to invest with the best proven performers, download the Covey Legends app, Covey Legends app. And if you think you can become a legend and you think you are the best analyst, join the Covey Training Club and start competing at Covey.io. We'd love to have you there. It's totally free to compete. The Legends app has a small fee.
Yep. And is there other things that you think down the road, this is enough for everybody to chew on for a couple of years?
I think this is a big product. We'll be the first of its kind to ever launch. This product exists in the hedge fund world. It's called Alpha Capture. So there's a lot of institutional investors so if you're a millionaire, you're able to buy the ideas of the top institutional salespeople from like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan and create a portfolio out of that.
You can create, but you don't buy it. You have to now give you research and kind of delayed in many ways.
They have something similar to Covey at an institutional level, but you can't access it as a retail analyst. And so, Citadel uses this data, Two Sigma uses this data, Marshall Wace kind of created this field. And so institutional investors have been using this strategy for a long time of finding the best people and allocating money to them. Pretty obvious. But retail has never really had this product. So we're really excited to bring transparency to investing and allow anyone to easily invest in the best.
And you're working with Ethan?
I'm working with Ethan, and he's helping us navigate all the regulatory challenges of this company.
Obviously, it's been done before because the big banks do it, but what was it like dealing for retail? Ethan's very creative and one of the best at Lowenstein Sandler. What was it like? Was it more complicated than you thought, or was it...
It's really hard. I think no one has ever done this in the US to retail investors. We've never had this product before. And a big reason is the regulatory difficulties. And so we found a way around that. We're really proud of it. We think it's unique, and Ethan helped us build that out. So we're excited to be the first to market with this.
All right, great. Not an easy, it's fun like to just whip up an app, because when you open up Covey app, it's a great use case, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ethan doesn't have money, but he opened an account, and he stands around my office asking me for money to fund his account, and I just show him that I'm beating him in the S&P with my real money, and that one day he too could save money. So, but I think the app works as in plan. I installed it. It worked very quickly, and it can immediately see how I'm doing. And that's basically it. And you can look a little bit behind the curtains, or I don't want to go behind the curtains because I don't want to psych myself out. And I just know that the Keebler elves are working for me. Is there a name for these people? Are we giving them a name?
We're calling them legends, the top 1%. We call them legends.
So you're treating them like Kobe beef is what you're saying. You're not calling them a negative name to just keep them down and hungry.
No, I think Legends works. They've proven themselves. They've done something exceptional. And so they've attained this legend status.
And are we learning anything about legends? Can they be under 30, or they tend to be over 30, or they tend to be male? Do they tend to be any nationality?
I haven't found any sort of common denominator amongst them. They love investing. They love talking ideas. But I haven't really seen anything like the same education level or the same culture or the same region. No, there's nothing. And that was true when I was at hedge funds. The best analysts were not the ones who went to the Ivy League schools. They were from all over the place.
Yes, I went to ASU, so no one would have predicted that I would have some street alpha in me, except maybe me, because I chose ASU. And I'm like, who cares where I get this degree from? I choose weather and, certain other things. So you opt in. Your opt out is kind of an opt in to greatness in many possible ways. That's what we're seeing in America as a whole. The puck is moving all the time.
Yeah, it's nuts that we don't have data on all these people. And we haven't done this before. I'm kind of shocked that I'm able to actually launch an app like this that no one's ever done before, because it seems so obvious. Why don't we find the best, allocate money to them? Oh, that's
I kept saying this won't work, but now that I see it and it's so simple, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Which is so congrats to you for getting this live. This was a very complicated, inelegant thing that is now elegant, but yet still weird and interesting behind the scenes. So there's something for everybody. There's something for the people that want to be a legend. And that's part of your job, to train, give support, provide the tools and rewards that make someone want to be a legend. And then there's the other side that says, man, this isn't what I want to do, but I believe in the idea that people could beat the market. I mean, Warren Buffett did it. And how do I align myself with the next great people? And, hats off to the eToros of the world over in Israel, Cyprus, and Europe that have launched copy trading a decade ago. But it's still very different than what this is, right? This is another manifestation of what copy trading could be.
Yeah, it's the next layer of copy trading where
it's hiding the mess.
Yeah, it's the hard part about the eToro copy trading product is you look at it and you don't know who to pick. So we do all the picking for you, so you don't have to worry.
All right, everybody. So you heard it here first. Go download the app. Keep it simple. I think everybody should try and beat the S&P if they want to do it themselves. That's why there's Robinhood and crypto accounts and Schwab and all the tools that you want to do. You should definitely do that. But for those people that want to hedge themselves and also try and beat the S&P under a very simple premise, which is the humans and machines doing what they do best, and someone looking out for you and trying to do this at a master level, then Covey is for you. For everybody else, there's just plain old Vanguard ETF investing. So I think this is the first real innovation in between. So I'm excited to see how people respond to this. So this has been fantastic. Thank you, Brooker. And I can't wait for people to see this app and start using and depositing money and trying to beat the S&P with Covey Legends.
Thanks for having me, Howard.
All right. See you. So there you have it. I think it's cool. I can't tell you the amount of stress that we've laid on him saying simplify, 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 and then he did it.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited to see this in the wild because it's so simple that there's no reason not to try it.
Yep.
If you want to beat the S&P, Covey Legends is for you. If you're not happy with it, you close your account. It's pretty simple. And we think this thing can scale and scale and scale. And then on the back end, what's exciting is we can train a whole next generation to be around legends. Not that Twitter's bad or StockTwits is bad or Reddit's bad. This is just a new form of getting better. All right. You are listening to Panic with Friends, where I insult people. But that's Howie Town. People get insulted. We talk to founders, venture capitalists, traders, investors, trying to think through the next great investments and the next big trends. You can search my name, Howard Lindzon, on Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, anywhere there's a search button. You probably just say my name into ChatGPT and you will get taken to a place where you can subscribe on your favorite app and you will get one of these podcasts every week. Thanks, Knut. Thanks, Ethan. See everybody next week.
Be sure to listen just another minute to hear more about the special offer for Panic listeners from our sponsor, DSTNC.com.
I started getting into cycling about 8 years ago and discovered an incredible community of like-minded individuals sharing the same passion. I consider myself a fashionable guy, but when it comes to cycling wear, the selection is extremely limited and it's challenging to find the right size and fit. Last year, I met a former pro cyclist and his business partner wife who shared my dilemma and decided to address it head on. Together, they created Distance, the first marketplace that features premium cycling apparel and accessories from leading brands worldwide. I recognize the potential of the business and we decided to invest through social leverage. We also put together an incredible group of friends who love cycling and invested alongside. What sets Distance apart is its thoughtful curation of apparel, highlighting the latest fabric technologies designed to enhance the rider's experience. The site is constantly refreshed with new and exclusive product launches, all hand-selected for their quality and innovation. But what truly sets Distance apart is its commitment to customer satisfaction. They offer free express shipping and easy returns, and the community of athletes, ambassadors, and enthusiasts they've cultivated is unparalleled. If you're a cyclist like me or no one and seek the best in cycling apparel, check out Distance. That's DSTNC.com. And for a limited time, save 15% on your purchase by using the code PANIC15. That's DSTNC.com, and the code is PANIC15. Also, don't forget to sign up to join their community, and you'll gain access to exclusive offers, social rides, and community events.
Howard Lindzon is the founder and general partner at Social Leverage. All opinions expressed by Howard and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Social Leverage or StockTwits. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for decisions. Guests may maintain positions in securities discussed in this podcast.